Hi everyone, it's Emily David, the head of education at Bytes Media. Today we're going to learn how to navigate your teacher's portal. We'll learn how to log in, navigate, sign up unlimited students, assign the articles, grade assessments, and view the student data. As always, you can reach us at admin@bytesmedia.com with any questions or concerns. Let's get started by logging in. So when you go to the homepage at bytesmedia.com, you'll see in the right-hand corner the sign in button. Click it or type in bytesmedia.com/login. Both will take you to the login page where you can input your username or email, the password associated, and log in. If you still need a account, you can hit the sign up button on the bottom and go through our sign up process. All right, let's go over the basics once you log in. So here's your teacher portal. Once you log into your teacher account, this will come up. Now this is my demo or fake teacher account. Yours will not look like this when you first log in. But once you add your students, start assigning articles, it will look like this and we'll get you there in time. Let's go over the basics though. By clicking the Browse Content, you can access over 116 classroom-ready articles. You can sign up your students with your unique code that will always live there. You can manage your class by adding and dropping students from your account. You can see what students are signed up and are in your class and what assignments they've completed. You can view the whole class data on engagement and comprehension, view individual data on engagement and comprehension across all articles or on one article. You can also assign new articles using this feature. Now that was a lot of information and we'll break it down portion by portion. Let's start by signing up your students. So you have a unique sign-up code associated to your account. The one you see here is not your code. Please do not use this. I will see what students you log in if you use this code. Please use the code that is associated with your account when you log in. And like I said, you have unlimited students that you can sign up using this code. So give each student that is in your class or you would like to be associated with your account the code that you see when you log in. That code will always be there. It will never go away, so you don't have to worry about saving the code somewhere or losing the paper, what have you. To sign your students up, you will give them this code using whatever method you need. They will go back to the home page and click that sign up button in the top right-hand corner. Once they get to the sign up page, they need to select the student option, put their name in, email, whatever username and password they'd like, and then input that sign up code that's associated to your account. If they do not put in the code or put in a wrong code, they will not appear in your teacher portal. So please be sure that they put in the right code. Now, once you have all of your students sign up, you go back to your teacher portal and hit the Manage Class button. Here you can see all of your students either by using the drop-down button or typing them in. Once you have all your students in, it's time to start assigning articles. Now, like I said, we have over 160 articles that define current events and make explicit civic connections. So why assign these articles? Well, now that your students have an account, they see at the end of every article a reading comprehension assessment that's aligned to Common Core standards for informational text and writing. We also track student engagement with each type of content block, so you know how much time was spent viewing the videos, decoding the infographics, and reading the text. Don't forget that we also have text-to-speech, highlighting, and note-taking features in every article to scaffold student comprehension. So let's assign an article. Very simply, you click the Assign a New Article button. What will appear is this Create Assessment box. Now you can either use the drop-down or type in a topic to assign the article. Put in the start date of the assignment and the due date and hit Create. It will then appear in the assignments for all students. You can delete that assignment if you made a mistake. Yes, delete it, and it'll be gone. Now, when you assign an article, each of those boxes is one article, and you can see the percentage of the article the student has read in real time. If they haven't started it, it'll appear in blue text as we see for the Brexit article. For the filibuster, the students read 52% of the article and has not started the quiz, which is in yellow. For what time should school start, this student has read 100% of the article and has completed the quiz, which is in green. Now that they've completed it, we need to grade it. So I go into each student and I make sure that I'm in their assignments tab on the upper right-hand corner. For this student, they've read 100% of the filibuster article and completed the quiz. And I can see they've read 100% of the what time should school start article and completed the quiz. Now for the filibuster, I see a 4 out of 5, which means I've already graded that quiz. But for the what time should school start, I don't see a grade there. So it means that I need to grade that quiz. So all I do is I click on that box, which is the article, and this is what appears. It's the quiz answers box. Now, if a student didn't complete the quiz, it'll tell you that, and you won't see any data here. But for this, I did test answers, and it's a binary scale. So what happens is it's either a green check mark for correct or a red X for incorrect. Pretty simple. Once I'm done grading, it'll give me the total score, so 3 correct out of 5. And it now appears in the assignments page. So once I've graded, once students have completed quizzes and read articles, I can access that student data. Now there's 3 types of settings where that data is collected. One is for one student, one article, one student, all articles, and all students, all articles, and we'll break each down now. First one is one student, one article. So I want to know how one student did within one of the articles. So let's go back to what time should school start. I click on the article. Again, I see the comprehension assessment and how the student performed. When I click on the article analytics tab, I see a breakdown of the student engagement. Now this is the percentage of time spent within each of the blocks. I see the students spent about 34% of their time in the assessment. They spent 32% of the time in the text and 9% of the time in the video. Now I can see the amount of seconds that they spent within each of those blocks by clicking the raw data tab up at the top. Again, it tells you it in seconds. Now another setting will be for one student across all of the articles assigned. So an average of all comprehension and an average of all engagement. So I make sure that I'm in the right student I want to assess, and I click the report tab up at the top right-hand corner next to the assignments. This report tab gives you an average amount of time spent within each of the blocks, as well as an average comprehension score across all articles. Again, it's an average. So we see here the student has spent an average of 40% of their time in the text, 15% in the assessments, 13% in the video, etc. I also can see it broken down by seconds. And then at the bottom, I see the average score. I see each individual score for the comprehension assessments. Now, what if I wanted to see across my whole class? What are the trends in what they're engaging with? Are they spending more time in video? Are they reading the most? And then how they're doing on comprehension. I can access that by clicking the graph next to my class. Once I click it, the first thing that pops up is the comprehension assessments. So I see this is the average score. So all of my students, what's the average score for each of those assignments? If I click the reading tab, this is the average amount of time spent engaging in those blocks. So I can see for this class, a lot of the time is spent in the text. Surprisingly, the video is probably an average amount of time spent, not the most, not the least. So those are all the features for your student portal. We really hope that this was a great overview. If you have any questions, please contact us at admin@bytesmedia.com, and we thank you for your time.